Okay, today I want to discuss water delivery systems, electronics, and pump delivery and septic systems. Now, as we all know, EPIC systems have an inlet. We need a water supply. It flows through the cells by gravity, so it's really nothing we have to do, but we have to deliver water to the inlet part. Now, in residential areas where we have planters, there's hundreds of options of pumps. For example, you can have a very small pump as small as this, which is used in aquariums, supplies, fountains that are designed to run a long time. So you simply plug it in and it can recirculate and deliver water to your EPIC planter and do that type of work. You can also have different types of DC operated or battery operated pumps. This one, for example, is 1,000 liters per hour. So it delivers a lot of water in a small space. We can do an hectare from one single pump, and this would be connected to a 12-volt supply. But if you're in a remote area where there is no residential structures and we have no power, no electricity, how do we deliver and pump water to the system? That's where we have to rely on solar panels. Now, we don't have a solar panel here, but they're roughly, more than 1 meter wide. They're a large unit and they produce enough electricity. So we really have to match the solar output in watts to the output that a pump needs to operate the system. Now, in this case, instead of a solar panel, we have a battery, which is also a 12-volt system that can deliver the same power as a solar panel. Now, in some situations, the solar panel itself can operate the pump, but will only operate when there is sunshine. But since EPIC systems are only watered once or twice a week, a good strategy is the solar panel can charge a battery for the days that it's not actually being used, and the day that you actually need power, even at night, it can be powered by the battery, which was charged by the solar panel. So you get two birds with one stone. Solar panel charges the batteries operate the system. Now, to make it automatic, because no one's there, it's in a remote area, we have what we call the EPIC controller. And this is right here, EPIC controller. It's a watertight box. You can lock and make it secure, click it shut, click it open, but everything inside. Now, what the solar controller is, on the outside, we have 6 terminals. Way on the right, we have the positive and negative from your solar panel or the battery providing the power to the unit. In the middle section, we have the positive and the negative 12-volt system that operates the pump. And then on the far right, we have one leg that goes to a float switch, which is part of the EPIC cell, which is going to be described a little later here. And the other wire goes to the solenoid of your conventional irrigation valve, which operates it in. So to make it happen, on the inside of the unit, we have a timer. The timer is programmable to run a certain time period. This particular timer right now can have 168 different settings, but I set it for 6 hours to come on Tuesdays. So automatically the battery is operated, it has the memory. So on Tuesdays, the power is supplied to the pump and supplied to the other unit inside, which is an inverter. The inverter changes 12-volt input, which we have from the battery, to 110-volt output. The reason for the 110-volt output is we want to change the AC current now to a transformer that delivers 24 volts AC, which is needed to power the solenoid on your conventional irrigation valve. So this doesn't operate on 12 volt direct, it has to operate on 24 volt C. And the reason we do that is we want very little current to go through these valves and through the irrigation valve, which we are going to explain. Now, the inlet part of an Epic cell is a unit like this. So this would be 24 inches or about 60 centimeters deep. You have your water supply here from the pumps or the reservoir going to the discharge here. So on the inside, if you look at it, all we really have is a gate valve faucet. So with the gate valve faucet, we control the rate flow. Because what we want to do, adjust the flow for an array of Epic cells to flow about 4 liters per minute. So if we have a very large pump feeding a lot of inlet units, each unit can be custom made one time to have a flow rate around 4 liters per minute. So this introduces the water to the Epic cell. When it goes through the Epic cells, it terminates on the last cell with another unit which is the same size, which we call the float switch. So the float switch essentially would be here, and I prepared a cutaway view so you could kind of tell how that works. So in the float switch arrangement, the bottom picks up the water flow from the exit cell and then continues the water flow to your final exit point of the pond. At the bottom, we have to drill one 20-millimeter hole to communicate what is the water level inside the cell. So when the cell starts to fill, it also rises within this unit because the float switch is part of the unit in a sense in the last cell. So when the water rises, it's going to lift the float switch and the current is shut off. So normally right now with the float switch down, it is below the water line. It says I can get power to the unit. When the water rises, I don't want continual pumping to waste. So the water rises in the unit, and when it's up here, it shuts off the power supply to the pump, and the system shuts off so we don't really waste any water. As the water evaporates, the unit may come down, but if the timer isn't on, it really doesn't matter either. So this unit is only active when we have power, and the timer allows the power to be transferred to the pump. So now I pre-wired and connected everything as it could be to the terminals, and we'll show you how it works. To override the timer, and there's going to be instructions on how to do that. So it'll take a little time to kind of get used to how the timer functions, but taking the units off, but right now I'm turning on. And we have water flowing. And if you look inside the unit, the red light comes on. It means the timer has power. If I shut it off, the power stops and the unit is there. Now in this case, the float switch really hasn't been activated, so let's try again. This is the manual override. Water is pumping out, but I'm going to go to the float switch and lift it up, pretending the water reached this unit, and the water shuts off. And it shuts off till the primer is reactivated a week or several days later. So that's how we solved the problem of remote areas with no power, no electricity. Thank you.